he was very famous because he was an early survivor and because he fell in the fire and his fucking skin was dripping off his hands.
His skin was dripping, I remember.
So he had signed a ton of random shit. And then like people were auctioning it off. Like, I guess, I don't know how this came about. I have this item. I could go upstairs and get it. One of my patrons bought me. He signed, we don't know why, but at a certain point, he signed a little tiny pair of baby shoes. And so my patron bought me. And this is before he got clipped.
No.
And my patron, when he got charged, found and bought me these baby shoes. I have them. Welcome to Where's My Spinoff? I am Corinne Kaplan and
I am Britney Haynes from The Amazing Race today.
I'm like, we're from a bunch of shit, but today specifically, I'm going to talk a little bit about Survivor and Britt's going to talk a little bit about Amazing Race because for the first time in at least 10 years, I watched the episode last night. Now,
it's your first time in 10 years. Wow.
At least 10 years. Yeah. Okay. I didn't watch after my last season. I never watched, same with Amazing Race. I didn't watch after I was voted out. I don't even know what the rest of my own season looked like. Cause I am uninterested if I'm not on TV. Like I don't want to watch it.
I watch basically everything, but it was funny because the other day, I didn't remember specifically which Survivor seasons you were on. And I was talking about something on Patreon. And so I went to Google like a random Survivor season and it happened to be one of yours. And I was like, oh. There's Corinne looking so cute and skinny on the beach.
Yeah, what's pissed me off about Survivor is they chose to put like some of them on Netflix. So like during the pandemic, some people like got a resurgence of fame and I don't know where mine are. I wouldn't even know how to find them, but I don't think they're on anything other than Paramount Plus or whatever. What's the CBS? Where do you find Survivor?
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus, but also Netflix does have our season of Amazing Race. They put it was so random, same thing. It was random, but it was one of my Big Brother seasons, season 14. And they also had our Amazing Race season put on Netflix. So if people want to go tune in to that,
it didn't help because I've never gotten a message about it, nothing.
Never.
And I still, yeah. Okay. So the reason I didn't want to, the reason I watched this particular episode is because I live in Denver and very weirdly, there's a guy on the cast. He's very nice. His name is Steven. Don't ask me which tribe he's on. I don't know. But he was having a premiere party 2 weeks ago and I happen to be in Idaho. And Benry, who's from another season, who I've been friends with forever, lives in Denver also. We both used to live in LA. And Benry and Amy Cusack from another season, both of mine good friends. But like Amy's not always here and I haven't seen Benry in a long time. They were like, come to this premiere party and we can all hang out. There's this guy on the season that's in Denver. I couldn't make it. So Benry hit me up and was like, hey, he's having another party this week. And I was like, okay, where is it? He tells me, and it'd be a long walk, but it's walkable for me. And it's like a 5-minute Uber.
Okay, nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'll go. And this is how like, I don't know if it's like carefree or what you would call it, but like a normal person that was going to a party where they didn't know anyone. The actual guy didn't invite me, by the way. Benry did. And I just like hit Benry. I was like, hey, I'm going to show up by myself. So what time are you getting there? Benry ends up being 30 minutes later than he said he was going to be. So I'm just by myself at the bar. I find Steven. Weirdly, he goes, where in Denver do you live? He tells me his address. He is, with no exaggeration, 1 block. He bought a house 1 block from me.
Wow.
So we are like super legitimately neighbors. And I don't know how I've never seen him before. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I am sitting at the bar waiting for Benry, looking like a complete loser. Like I'm at a party that I really wasn't. Yeah. I came with no one. But you know who's my friend? The bartender. Like I will just go to the bar and work it out. So I go to the bar and here's where you come in. So I'm sitting at the bar and first, a guy walks in and he's like, sees me and is like, oh. And so he's like, can I have a picture with you? And I was like, of course. Cause there's nothing I love more than the fact that it's not my party. And I'm sitting too close to the door. So people are like, oh my God. And so he comes in Then a second guy comes in, asks for a picture with me. Shout out Jeremiah. He asked for a picture.
Shout out
and
Jeremiah.
Then this girl, this adorable, she comes in, Kieran, am I saying that right? Sorry, don't kill me, Kieran. I wrote it down, Kieran. Okay, Kieran, very bubbly, cute girl, is right behind Jeremiah, and she's like, oh, Corinne, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of you and Britney's podcast.
No way.
Yes
What?
way. Yes.
You found our demo.
I know.
Thank you, Kieran. We
Kieran,
love you.
this one's for you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
She was like totally in the trenches, like has listened to every episode. It was amazing.
I love that.
So anyways, I proceed to, I know, I thought you would.
Now you have more fans approach you for this podcast than you have The Amazing Race.
Oh, Kieran said, she goes, I love when you trash The Amazing Race. She goes, I watch it, but I don't think anyone else does. I was like,
she's the only one.
We are very consistently going to trash Amazing Race every single episode. Okay. So I saddle up to watch, and I already start warning Benry and Steven. I'm like, hey, I can't, I Googled it. It's 90 minutes. I can't do that.
90 minutes. I was wondering how you felt about this. This is crazy. And by the way, Amazing Race is also now 90 minutes. 90-minute episodes, yes.
In a world where people are looking for exclusively 2-minute clips, who the fuck is extending episodes
that
aren't
doing this?
Finales or premieres? So I was like, I can't stay past the 60-minute mark. I don't even care if it's you that's going home. Like, I can't sit through 90 minutes of this.
It's a full-blown movie. It is the length of a feature film. Like, you're asking me to sit down and watch a feature film on a weekly basis. It's absurd.
So first thing I notice is I become like my blood pressure boils. Like, I hear the music and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. However, I stay in it, and I see that to start, there are 3 tribes. Britney, I don't know if you understand how shitty that is. So the first 2 things I did, like my first season, I was like, sometimes it's 18. If you're really lucky, it's 16. Sometimes it's 20. The pot of money is the same. You're looking for the least amount of people possible. So when my first season started and there was 18, I was like, all right, that's 2 less people I have to compete for screen time with. It's the same amount of episodes, 2 less people. Okay. But my other fear would be going to tribes of 6, because you are totally ass out. It's very difficult. If you go to tribal the first time, everyone makes alliances. It's too small. It's too small. They're
really
just going to keep picking. It's so bad. If it'd be different, and usually this isn't how it works, but like, you know, if one tribe goes home, then the other tribe, but if the same tribe just keeps going, now it's so bad.
Oh,
it's so bad to watch.
And they've had to do that multiple times in recent seasons, where they do like they have to do like a re-swap, because the same tribe will lose over and over, and they just dwindle down to like there's 2 people left on the tribe, and they're like, we have to reshuffle the deck, and we're not ready to go to merge, but we have to reshuffle the pre-merge deck because only this one tribe keeps losing. Like, you have the loser tribe, and then the loser tribe gets all the screen time, and you don't even know who the people are on the other tribes, because if you're not going to tribal, they don't feature you really. Like, they're always going to feature the loser tribe the most.
One of the biggest issues, so first of all, on my first season, we won every challenge for the first like 4 episodes or whatever, maybe more than that. And one of my tribe mates, who like Charlie, who actually watched the show, was like, you think this is good? This isn't good. I was like, the fuck you talking about? We haven't got to tribal once. He goes, we're not on the show, Corinne.
We're not on TV. Like,
okay, but
I mean, it's so true.
The problem when I'm watching this, okay, and let me just tell you, I hate watching Survivor in a bar because the audio isn't synced up. Some of the TVs aren't synced up. I'm barely. Sometimes there's captions, sometimes there isn't. So, anyways, I'm watching and I look up and I look at Benry and I go, why are 6 fucking people sitting out of this challenge? Why, Britney? Because one tribe has like 2 people left on it.
Oh, so there you go. There's the scenario.
You can't. Yeah.
So everyone has to sit out on the other tribes. Yeah.
To even it out. Yeah. So I'm watching this and I'm like, this is bad TV. And like Benry, who is, if you guys don't know him, he's from season 21. He's awesome. And he's really very funny in real life. And he's very cool. Like he ran in the same circles in LA like I did. Like, he's a cool guy. He's not like a loser. And there's a lot of losers on that show.
That's good.
So he was really cracking me up because like we're watching this together, we're watching the challenge, and he's like, is it me? Or did they just like repaint this challenge and it's the same shit? And I was like, and he goes, is it also just keeps being in Fiji? So this other girl, Annie, who's also on this season, she was voted outside. She was there and she doesn't live here, but she was playing, her band was playing. And so Annie comes over and she's giving us all the dirt. She's like, just telling me. And yeah, so I know a bunch of stuff that I won't spoil because people get really pissed about it. So Annie is like telling us, he's like, so they just keep filming it over and over again in Fiji? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, see, when we filmed my second season, it was the second season filmed in that beach. And I was finding like people's hairpins, like just buttons, like just shit you shouldn't find. Yeah. Because what are they going to do?
No more. They have been dedicated to that location for, I don't know how long now, because I'm not that deep in the lore, but they only exclusively like film there now. I think that they have all their infrastructure that they need. They go for a long extended period of time, film 2 seasons back to back in the same location. And then they're done for 9 months or whatever until they go back.
But I mean, I'm sure I'm very late to the party, and everyone who's listening that watches Survivor is like, oh, everyone knows this
party. Yes.
But obviously like one of the better characters in the show is where you're filming it. And that's why the challenges look different in China versus Africa. Yeah. So I was like, this is very boring.
Yeah. They got too comfortable. They were like, we're so established here now and it's so much easier. But you're right. It removes the element of like when they went to Africa and did like a season there, they used to like go all over Malaysia, like all these other places.
Also, the climate changes and the weather patterns change. And that's like interesting. If it's just going to be sunny and there's an ocean, and then every challenge is going to look the same. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, anyways, so to the point of the story, let me wrap it up for the people that don't give a shit about Survivor. I don't either. I'm watching this fakakta show and the guy so this guy, if you don't watch it, you don't need to know that much. This guy gets bit by a snake. Now, I want to back it up from someone who's played the game to explain that we went through on my seasons very serious wilderness training. And they're kind of like, look, we have medics. It might take medics a minute to get to you, and you need to know how to handle certain situations. They taught us what to do if a silverback gorilla makes eye contact with you. You can't look away immediately, but don't make direct, like play hard to get. Like the instructions were whack. But one thing that I remembered, because I was very concerned, I grew up in the Everglades. I understand, I'm not afraid of snakes, but I knew there was a lot of poisonous snakes where we were in Africa. So when you're sticking your hand in the tree trying to find an idol, that's also where a snake lives.
Right.
So they were like, listen, there are a lot of snakes. If you get bit by a snake, immediately you tourniquet that area. So if my hand was bit, I would take my buff, I'd wrap it as tightly as possible to stop the flow of blood. And then I would move, I think you move, you put your hand up or one of them, wherever, like there was instructions. I don't know them now, but back then I did. I see this guy get bit by a snake and he's just like, and I knew I asked Annie, she said they really didn't have wilderness training, which is, I don't know where the budget got cut for that, but like, I know if a snake is very colorful, it's highly venomous. That's just how it works. That snake was beautiful.
And pretty much in general, any animal. Like if there's a venomous version, it's like the colorful, the bright version of that specific animal. Yes, in general.
So this guy gets bit and he's like, I don't know. Maybe I was bit. I'm not sure. And then he like casually picks his foot up and I'm like, yo, I knew immediately. Like, your lungs are going to collapse imminently.
You're dying right now. You're dying. Oh my God.
So, and then did you see first of all, let's just say, let me just get this out. I don't think it's appropriate to spend 10 minutes and 57 seconds. Yes, I pulled the clip to rewatch today on a medevac. A medevac is sorry, time's up. Bye. Like it isn't this whole thing.
Did people cry? Did Jeff have to come? Did we talk about how we feel? Did we have like a group hug where maybe we discussed like possible outcomes? Maybe we sent up good vibes and then we talked about how who was triggered? Was someone triggered by the snake bite because it reminded them of a time that they once saw someone get bitten by another type of animal and it brought up memories, and we had to talk through that. We had group therapy, I'm assuming, because that's all Survivor is anymore.
Yes,
by the way.
I'm watching this going, okay, this is already going on too long. Now they show him getting off the boat and going into this absolute trailer park of a medical facility that doesn't look at all equipped. Like, it looked like they just hung up like sheets and like put like had brought saline solution. Like, they had no fucking clue what was going on. There's not an EKG machine. There's no shock paddles. There's nothing. It's a dirty room in a trailer. And this poor doctor is freaking out.
Did they take him via helicopter to this tent? No, just like a gurney, like a little, like one of those human lift kind.
Well, they put him in the boat, and when they put him in the boat, I'm watching this going, how are you not tourniqueting his fucking foot? Now he's bumping up. Now they're moving the venom all around his body. So they're shaking the venom. And so they're like, they start screaming on land because apparently I read an article, Jeff, they lost contact with the boat. The walkie-talkies. So they don't know if he's breathing. So they're screaming from the dock, is he breathing? Is he breathing? And it's so clear. Like, there's certain things they do for effect. It was very clear. There was a deep concern that this guy was fucking dead on arrival. And there's no one. He's just in the bowels of the boat bouncing around.
What happened to the helicopter that they used to use? They used to bring in the chopper and then gurney him up and get him out of there on the bird. What happened? Now we're on a boat. I bet they didn't even get wilderness training because they're like, we've been here so long that any animals left are domesticated. So we don't even need to give them wilderness training because those are our pets. Those are our production pets. This was
what I thought.
Snake.
Yes. What I thought was I know they bought this island. Okay. So why don't we have nets everywhere around it? If you know that this type of snake, like, let's just remove the possibility. So
just
okay.
Put some of your domesticated cats in there. Yeah. Send them hunting, get them on a hunt.
Nobody asked a single fucking question when in Kermone, which has no coconut trees, we had coconuts every day. No viewer asked a question. You can see there are no palm trees with coconuts. Nothing. They just kept delivering coconuts so we had something to eat. And nobody cared.
So funny. I wonder if they're doing that now or if those are wild coconuts that we're seeing.
No, they're delivering them. That's what's happening. They're
funny.
They're always on the floor. You never saw one person climb a fucking tree because we didn't have any. Anyways, so this guy gets to this decrepit medical tent, and it is clear that they are losing their shit. But by the grace of God, he got bit by a snake and it was a dry bite, meaning there was no venom. So now, Britt, the best part is everything that happened to this guy is just placebo effect. There was no venom.
Oh my God. And was he acting like he was having like symptoms? Was he like, I feel it. I'm going numb. Oh my God. They
have him
funny.
On a fucking respirator and his blood pressure's through the roof. Nothing's wrong with the man. Nothing happened. So now
that was just being shooken up from the boat ride. That was he was just seasick.
He starts to throw up a little bit in the like when he's like on the boat because he's legitimately seasick because they didn't even let him ride in the top. They made him ride in the bowels, which is awful.
He was just seasick. All of those sensations were just seasickness. That's
okay. So now it gets better. He has a baby being born at home and he's going to live to see the baby. And so that's the whole plot. So now Jeff comes to the hospital and he's like, he goes, look, I'm not sure if you remember what happened, but you were bit by a snake. I'm like, Jeff, nothing's wrong with him.
No venom. There was no venom. Oh my God.
It's too good. So now he's got to tell the fucking tribe, right? And like the crazy thing is this is the difference between how I play the game and how these fucking pussies play it. All I wanted was, I really like the mental medevacs, but any medevac is fine. So anytime we did a challenge and somebody's limping, I'm like, oh, Brenda's going to go home. I would bask in the I hope you all get medically evacuated. Yeah. I make more money every time one more person is down.
Yeah.
You see these people who don't know him. They're on the other tribes hysterically crying.
I knew it.
And I'm like, who cares?
We're so touchy-feely now on Survivor. It's all about our feelings, how we're processing. Like, I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they literally had like an all hands on deck group discussion to process the dry bite that, by the way, affected no one. Like the dry bite that affected not one person. So did he have to leave the game?
Yeah. And then
why would he have to leave the game? Like
because these idiots gave him fluids and stuff. Well, they were treating him like they were treating him. The guy basically, what I think happened is the doctor was like, he'd be dead when he arrived if this was venomous. It's not, but we're just going to do all the, because he got fluids, he has an advantage. Now,
it's not fair.
Yeah. I would like to point out, if you don't watch Survivor, I want to explain to you that medevacs are not that uncommon. They happen almost every season. I've never seen 11 minutes. That's why you needed a 90-minute episode to detail this medevac. Let me tell you, one guy, one of my favorite medevacs of all time, Joe from whatever season, he's an older man. He wins a challenge. He's deep in the game. He's very fit, adorable, but older. He eats a bunch of meat at the challenge. Impacted fecal syndrome. Could they have just given him an enema and let him keep playing and videoed? You know what? I'll take a video of this.
Take a video of the enema. Why not?
Hold him from the game for not being able to shit.
Yeah. What? I don't even remember that. I don't remember which season that was. I was remembering the guy who fell in the fire. Remember that?
Mike,
the guy who passed out right into the flames?
That's not what he's known for. Oh my God. Do you not know what he's known for?
I don't remember. Like I said, I'm not that good at Survivor. I'm a casual.
Let me help you.
Okay.
His name is Mike Skupin, and he went to prison. Skupin? He went to prison for child pornography. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So him falling in the fire was like an act of karma. It was like an act. It was
he fell
the wheels of justice shoved him in the fire, right?
Well, if I remember correctly, so he falls in the fire early season. They bring him back for the injured reserve season. Then he gets clipped on the child porn charges. Now, here's a crazy twist that is really dark that you will like. He was very famous because he was an early survivor and because he fell in the fire and his fucking skin was dripping off his hands.
His skin was dripping, I remember.
So he had signed a ton of random shit. And then like people were auctioning it off. Like, I guess, I don't know how this came about. I have this item. I could go upstairs and get it. One of my patrons bought me. He signed, we don't know why, but at a certain point, he signed a little tiny pair of baby shoes. And so my patron bought me. And this is before he got clipped. No. And my patron, when he got charged, found and bought me these baby shoes. I have them. I know. If I ever have enough money for like a Survivor memorabilia room, that's going in a glass case, obviously.
It would have been enough if he just had fallen in the fire, dripped his skin off, and had the last name Skupin. That would have been enough of a story for a lifetime. Mm. We didn't need all the excess. That is crazy. All I remember about this man is that he fell in the fire. How many felons do we have out of Survivor alums? How many are there?
Well, there's one from each of my seasons, so there's at least those two. Russell Hantz is currently like shooting TikToks in Thailand with ladyboys in like bedroom situations. So I don't know what sex trafficking he's involved in, but he's overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a few choice people involved in Survivor.
Okay, so I have seen the first 2 episodes of Survivor, but I didn't watch the third one yet because I hadn't finished episode 2. But I know who you're talking about with the snake because I remember the guy who was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna miss the birth of my child."
Yeah,
because I'm here playing Survivor, which was a very, that's that's season 49. Like you couldn't have just picked. Pregnancy is a short amount of time. It's temporary. It's a temporary condition. It's not forever. You could have maybe been on 48. You could maybe try again later. Maybe try to hit up 51. I'm not sure. I don't think the timing was great for this man. And so he's willing to miss his child's birth and then he gets clipped because he had a dry bite. What a tale. Do you think he's one of the returners?
I know who the returners are. I don't think I'm allowed to spoil that. I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Well, text me and tell me if he's one of them.
I know who the 2 are. Okay. But in his case, I just want to point out, Survivor doesn't give a fuck. I wouldn't be surprised if he got bit by the snake and then still wasn't allowed. They keep you quarantined. They don't give a shit what's going on at all. Yeah. Like, well, I mean, Adam Klein.
It was sort of his choice to, I mean, he was willing to miss it. Like, obviously, if he was still in the game, he was totally willing to miss the birth. So what leg does he have to stand on to be like, oh, I got to rush home? They're like, you didn't. You wouldn't be rushing home if not for that snake non-poisoning.
There are multiple people, Adam Klein, Jenna Maraska. There are people who went on the show when their parent was dying of cancer. And like, there's just like an understanding that like, you'll find out when you come home in 6 weeks.
That's crazy to me.
That's how they operate.
That is crazy. Okay.
I mean, maybe they changed shit since I did it, but it didn't matter what happened at home at all. Yeah.
Well, right after Survivor ended, so you didn't make it all the way through the episode. You didn't make it through all 90 minutes. Okay. So you didn't see Tribal.
No. No.
Then what was then how was your Jeff Probst content? Like, how did you find him to be?
Well, he was wearing a hat, thank God. So somebody talked him through that hair. You know, I found him to be like far more involved than he should have been. Like, I don't know if it was by virtue of like what was going on in this episode, but in my seasons, like he's involved in Tribal and he's involved in calling a challenge, but you don't like, it's very minimal.
It's Jeff's show. Like it's his program. It's his baby. He is very in charge from what I understand. What do I know? But this is what I understand from bits and pieces that I have heard. But Amazing Race came on right after Survivor. So it annoyed me because, like I said, I'm an episode behind. And when I turned on Amazing Race, I saw like the clip of the person who had been whatever you guys call it. What do you call it?
Yeah.
It's not evicted. It's what is
eliminated.
Eliminated?
Or voted off.
Voted off. Okay, I saw that guy and I was like, great. Now I'm going to have to watch the whole episode knowing who went home, but whatever. In the same vein, though, Amazing Race came on right after. And the bulk of the teams, it's a 90-minute episode. The bulk of the teams, you did not see them until we're 45 minutes into the 90-minute episode. Like, you didn't even see their faces. Because if you're not in the top 3 and you're not like the bottom 2 stragglers and you're just like in the middle of the mix, there is no screen time for you. Like, you're not a part of the episode. It's like they would just flash and it would say at the bottom, like, currently in 7th place, but you like barely see these people, you know, that like the people who are in the middle, it's sort of like on Survivor. If you're not on the losing team, you get no screen time. Well, yeah, on Amazing Race, if you're one of the teams that's threatened with going home because you're doing so poorly, of course, you get featured a lot on the episode. But if you're just like in the middle, where are you? But I thought you would enjoy this little tidbit because I've been making fun of how cheap they are on this season, which we already went into the whole lore before about like how The Amazing Race considers itself to be a superior reality program to Big Brother or Survivor or whatever. And we have to assume that they were very unhappy to be pushed by the network to do like an all Big Brother season of Amazing Race.
It's
anyway.
beneath them.
It's beneath them. Like, how annoying that they have to like borrow from this lesser show, whatever. So they decided that the slight that they would do, like the subtle dig, was that they were going to do the least expensive possible season of all time. And they literally never leave Europe. And they rebranded Low Budget as European Adventure. Okay. It's a European adventure. On this specific episode, this is episode 3, the entire episode from the time that they like started their journey until the time they hit the mat, the entire leg was self-drive. They went nowhere. They're in the exact same location as they were in on episode 2. They're like somewhere in Prague or whatever, but they just self-drove. Like we couldn't even drum up a train ticket this time. We couldn't like get a hotel in another city, like move out of town. No, we stayed in town and we drove 1 hour in a rental car. It was an entire self-drive leg. It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest.
Important question. I can't believe you're not already coming with this information. Is it stick shift? Because then
I did a whole debrief on this because on my Patreon, I am recapping episode by episode. And Corinne, it was not stick shift. And I threw a whole fit about this because yes, okay, when you are going to be on The Amazing Race, you prepare by learning to drive a stick. If you don't know how to drive a stick, that's like the first thing you're going to do is go learn how to drive a stick, because this always comes up in a season. There's always someone has to drive a stick. Automatic vehicles, no one had a stick. So there was, I mean, if you're going to give me 90 minutes, I at least want to see somebody blow up an engine. Like I at least want to see somebody stall in oncoming traffic. Like give me something. That makes a good storyline when it's a stick, because somebody's not going to be good at driving it. So if you're going to make us self-drive, at least put them in a manual vehicle. What has become of this program?
I don't know, but like, are they trying to get canceled? Like you have to inject some drama. And also the fact that they're doing 90-minute episodes. Come on. Does that mean they're doing double elimination, or is only one person going home in 90 minutes?
One team went home, and the team that went home, Corinne, out of the 3 tasks that they had to complete that day, out of 3 tasks, they did so poorly that they only finished 1 task. And then Phil left to go meet them at the second task when they were arriving to send them home there, because he was like, I've got a dinner reservation. I cannot wait for them to get all the way to the mat. Like everybody else had packed up. They were probably 3 meals in by then, watching movies. Like they were relaxing.
Shit.
This team was so bad that he met them at task 2 and was like, you guys can just go. Like he brought
the mat to them. Like,
yeah. He took the mat to a field with a plow and was like, no need. Don't even bother getting changed. You guys are way last place. Like it's so bad that you're threatening my dinner reservation at this point. Like, just go. Just please go. And so that's what's happening on The Amazing Race low budget edition. It is low budge. And no, we're not even driving manuals. What are we doing? What are we doing? You mean
stick? Wait, is that what manual means? No, yeah, manual or automatic. You're right.
Yeah.
You would think for the $2,000 I spent learning to drive stick that I would have a better idea. I don't.
Yeah, I told the story about how I had to learn how to drive a stick. And by the way, it's very hard to find a stick in a city. Like,
I know.
That's not a thing. I found one person who had a Subaru that they were willing to basically let me destroy to learn how to drive.
Yeah, I mean, Eliza and I both had to pay for lessons because I don't have, we both nobody has a car in New York, and in LA, nobody has stick really. And if they do, it's like a Maserati or something I can't drive. So yeah.
Very difficult to find.
Okay. Anyway, before we get to, I know. So you're welcome. We've trashed Amazing Race and Survivor. You got a 2 for this episode. Okay. I wanted to play a fun little game. Well, it's not really a game, but it's just something that I thought was fun. So on Facebook, there is a little thing that comes up. It says people you may know. And it's usually you have mutual friends with these people. And Facebook thinks, oh, you might have forgotten to add them, despite the fact that Facebook's been around for 20 years and I've added everyone I want to add.
Right.
Okay. Here's the thing though. I always see them, like friends you may know. I just scroll past it, but like the first 2 I'll see. And they're very ridiculous. And I just thought, I bet Britney will like this. So I'm going to give you, there's so many. I'll go through them rather fast just in case this bores anybody. But I just thought you'd like to know who's in my friends you may know. And this is, I screenshot every one of them. And we have mutual friends. This is the real people. They are really on Facebook.
Like they're legit. Like this isn't like a fan account or something.
No,
like
and I will tell you why. It's because I have a lot of friends that are agents and publicists. And almost all the time, a publicist will have all of your social media accounts dialed in. And so when I see like my mutual friend is so-and-so who's currently, Glenn Powell's publicist, like I know that he was a publicist for this person at some point in time. All right.
Okay.
We're going to start with Katie Holmes. We have 2 mutual friends. I know you didn't see that coming. I'll send these pictures to Brock if you would like to see what these people, the mutual friends and everything, but it is all verifiable. I have everything on my phone. Okay.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
This one may be less surprising, but still, Brody Jenner.
Oh, he just recently was married. I believe had a baby, married with a baby, I think.
Okay. Well, here's one. I have 27 mutual friends with this man, and it is Ian Ziering from 90210.
Okay.
I have 8 mutual friends. 27. I know. I'm like, how do I not know you? 8 mutual friends with Chris Kirkpatrick from the Backstreet Boys.
Of course. I'm sorry. That was what you just said was blasphemy. He's not from the Backstreet Boys. He's from
NSYNC.
NSYNC. Oh my God. Sacrilege.
This is why we're not friends.
How dare you?
I only know every member of 98 Degrees, but I don't know the others. Okay.
How dare.
This is a reach and maybe not as interesting. Maybe I should skip him. But we have 19 mutual friends. It's Bob Guiney from The Bachelor.
I don't know which one that is.
I recognize him. I think this is like one of the only seasons I watched. Okay. 27 mutual friends with Constantine Marillis from
Constantine from Project Runway? No. It was the
American Idol.
Show. American Idol. Yeah.
Jason Alexander, who I did add friend. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Yes, add friend. What are these people's like? What are their profiles like? What are they saying? Are they sharing clickbait? Are they sharing fake news? Are they perpetuating any AI fake news stories?
I can tell you, online. Like, I didn't look into the profiles. Some of them are probably private, but like Jason Alexander says works at film/screenwriting. Constantine says actor at North Shore Music Theater. Sounds like he's doing musical theater.
Yeah.
Like some of them, like, okay, now we have John Elway, very famous. Here's one.
Old school football player.
I only have one mutual friend, and I want to thank Eliza Orlins because I know nothing about politics, but I believe this man has something to do with politics because he looked really familiar and his name was familiar. Do you know who Steve Bannon is?
I do know who Steve Bannon is. Yes, of course.
Okay, we have a mutual friend.
Oh, controversy. Okay.
And then lastly, for anyone that's a baseball fan, this is the third baseman at the San Diego Padres, Manny Machado.
Okay.
So I just thought it'd be a fun segment going forward. If I just pull, this is just like this week in Friends You May Know. This is what I came up with.
I wish I knew it. I don't have anything cool like that literally whatsoever, but I was looking at my friend requests. I don't know how to find, what do you go to? Suggestions? Oh yeah, here we go. People you may know. Look, see, none of mine are cool. None of mine are exciting like you.
I pulled out everyone that was from Survivor or really reality show like that. Like it would be obvious. Obviously we have like a million mutual friends because Survivor's all added other Survivors. I pulled those out because that's not interesting. But I think that like Chris Kirkpatrick might be interesting to people. That's what living in LA, New York, and Miami will get you.
I don't really ever I don't add anyone to Facebook, period, because I don't use it anyway. Like I'm not active on my Facebook. I only like open it and see what other people are doing. And the only reason I even keep it is because there's always like certain groups that I get information from. But so I don't bother adding anyone. But my feed is insanity because it's a lot of like my like high school, like Arkansas type. And the things that they will share and the things that they will say, it is truly wild. I screenshot Facebook very often for group discussion.
Feel free to share it on here. I love it.
Wild out there. And the AI is really getting the old people. Like they cannot tell an AI news article from a legitimate one for
surely not
anything. Like they are very tricked, very deceived by AI. Those oldies.
Speaking of Facebook, I teased this last week. So before we get into emails, can I do my quick go naked? Because I think you will enjoy it. This is the one that everyone kept sending me.
I'm really sad that we didn't talk about Seeking Sister Wives yet, but I guess we'll talk about it next week.
We can do. I feel bad.
I was just really excited. That's all.
All right. Let's just say this, okay? I don't watch reality TV, but she asked me politely to watch Seeking Sister Wives and Special Forces, and I watched both. I have a couple things to say, and I do think we should get to that.
Okay.
Start with Special Forces. I could easily do that show. Easily.
I know. You actually really could. I wouldn't win that show, but I could make it as far as Teresa Giudice. I can make it that far. And actually, I can make it further. I could make it as far as her daughter, Gia. I'm going to go ahead and say that I would be the equivalent of Gia. Yeah. She already quit. She quit this last episode.
I know. I was watching this show and I'm like, I don't understand. What is wrong with these people? Like it's not that hard. They're getting fed. I don't care if it's not good food. I went on Survivor where you don't have any food. Like, it's not that bad. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get how
do you think they
the
really
concept
make them
of the
sleep
show
in that bunker, like the bunker with the cots? Do you think they really have to sleep there?
I mean, I'm assuming what they really want is people to quit in a gratuitous fashion. So I guess they're making them do that. Like, I don't know why Mel B had cigarettes. Like, I was watching, so I watched the whole first season of it to understand. And I was really like, you know, I was so bummed about Johnny Manziel. Like, I don't like to see your heroes doing dumb bullshit like they need the money, you know? I hate it.
And doing really poorly at it, by the way. Like, not just doing it, but doing it not well. Like, he is physically beat up from running. Like, not in the prime that he once was. That's for sure.
No. And I feel like, unfortunately, I'm just not famous enough. The only way that show works is if you get like pretty heavy hitters and watch them like be upset. And like, I mean, Teresa with the eyelashes, like you mentioned that when I was going in to watch, and I thought, I'm sure she took it down to like a natural. Because I mean, to the point where like Eliza and I got our eyelashes, what do you call, like, crimped? Like what? Like we had them like so that we wouldn't have to wear mascara because we were worried that during
I did that
during race.
Yes, I had my eyelashes.
What do they
done
call
for
that?
race too. That was the only time I've ever had that done, and then I never did it again. I didn't like it.
I had my eyebrows dyed. Like I did everything.
Yeah.
Like I did everything I could so that I wouldn't have to wear makeup because I knew that that would be really difficult if like I want to look good on camera, but also I can't really wear mascara. It's going to get all over me.
Well, also you have to imagine, especially if they really are using that like disgusting, like outhouse style toilet and sleeping on these cots. And then they're dunking your head in muddy, disgusting, like puddle water. I feel like you're going to get an eye infection with those false lashes.
Oh yeah.
Like bacteria is going to seep and settle into the stem of those false lashes. And then it's glued to your face. Like you're just asking for, I don't know, whatever type of mites that go to live in your eyelashes. Like you're just asking for it.
I might be misremembering this. Is it my bad memory, or was Rachel Riley, maybe Alyssa too, literally just applying more glue and lashes? I remember her not having fake lashes, but reapplying glue and like you know, manually applying.
I think they just kept reapplying the same lashes.
Yes.
And they just had the glue. Yes, I believe so. As in like an effort to conserve weight in the bag. It was never fresh lashes. It was just the same lashes reapplied. But I guess they could, you know, rinse them off in the airport sink, give them a soak, let them dry under the dryer. And then put them back on.
I distinctly remember that because there was a point in which Rachel was like, I can't fucking see. Like there's so much shit in my eyes. Like
I remember too, it was like very like crispy up there on the upper lid. There was like a lot of like, it looked like fried bits out of the bottom of a pan. Like up there on the upper lid. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Okay, but you watched Seeking Sister Wives, my favorite show. And did you love it? Okay. Were you blown away by how good this program is?
But the fact that you failed to mention that the best couple on there, the black guy with 3 fat wives, they live in Denver. So everywhere they're going, I'm like, I know where that toy store is.
Oh my God, you're going to eventually see them out.
I could.
You have to.
I mean,
okay. That's one of my favorite couples, and because you haven't watched the previous seasons, you don't realize this, but the other couple that's really good, and they also live in Colorado, is that like, it's Garrick and Danielle are their names.
Yes. Wait, I know that I did watch them, and she's got a weird mouth.
Yes. But this is like their 3rd or 4th season, and they have had a different sister wife every single season.
But it's always a foreigner that's shaking them down for money.
Yes. It's always a Brazilian. It's always someone from Brazil who speaks no English. And they get the children all involved. I believe all of the wives have actually met the children, and then it never ends up working out. Like usually when it comes down to it, they just won't come to Colorado.
Yeah.
And then like, that's what breaks it apart. but it's and it's the whole story every time. It's like, God is pushing us to do this. God wants us to do this. And then it doesn't work out. So God wants them to just get a different Brazilian though. Like you were so close. You were warm.
Yeah.
But you weren't hot. It was actually like just that person's neighbor is where you were supposed to go. So then they go and then they meet that Brazilian and then they start wooing that one. But here's my big takeaway with the wife that they have this season, because like I said, it's a different wife every
She
season.
looks the same as the other bitch, but yeah, I mean, they look the same to me. I know it's, yeah.
She looks like she's their foreign exchange student that they're hosting. Like she looks 14. Does she not look like a child to you? She looks like a child. Like if you're the wife and you have teenage sons, are you not like a little weirded out that your husband has selected this girl who straight up looks like she could be 16 years old? And is who, and by the way, braces are very hot in the Sister Wives community. A lot of braces. You get a lot of braces on this show. A lot of braces. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means, but I'm just putting it out there. You see a lot of full metal jackets in the mouth on this show. But I just find it very bizarre that she looks so young. It creeps me out that they chose this girl who looks so young. It's weird.
But that girl, when they flew her out, she insisted on coming with her mommy. They flew the mommy out as well.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I think she's a minor. Like I think
she looks like she looks like they are the host family and she is coming to do sophomore year at the local public school around the corner. Like it does not look correct. It creeps me out to the most, but they are like one of the best couples to watch because what always happens is that she gets jealous and starts crying and she's upset. But it's like, you know, the fourth time they've done it. It's so great. I love a jealous wife.
Wait,
and you can.
Okay, hold on. My favorite part is when Stroke Mouth and Garrick have to tell their best friends that they've got another one.
And this is like the millionth one. This is
how
all of those friends have been there for all the other episodes. They've done this. They're like, God, here we go again. Here, let me guess, Brazil, because this has happened like so many times.
I don't understand how they have friends. I would never be friends. This is a completely unhinged behavior, and I would not want my kid hanging out with your kid. I don't want to go to your church.
Definitely not. And also, if you're going to be bothered to go through this so many times in the same country, do you think you could learn like a lick of Portuguese to try to like make their lives a little easier? Like if you know you're going to be going internationally to do this search, which you obviously are, maybe you could just get on what's the Duolingo? Can you Duolingo like the basics? Like they have to use the translator app all day, every day.
I know.
24 hours a day.
They're sitting there like, do you want to sleep in our bed tonight? Like, yeah, it's wild.
It's so weird. I know, it's the weirdest thing. I freaking love it so much. I love it so much. And then you can tell that the other couple, that wife is going to be really jealous. You can tell the one who was like, we can have a sister wife, but she can't have your baby. That one. Like it's going to become a problem, which I completely love. And then there's the gay guy. There's the gay guy and his wife. Sister wife.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just shocked at, and we'll get off this topic because I don't know how many people watch this show, but there's two black men on the season.
Good. Yes.
Wait, exactly. You guys watch it along with us. There's the Islamic one whose mother's like, the fuck you mean you're taking on another wife?
Yes.
And then there's our favorite that lives in Denver who wears a shirt, tie, and cufflinks to be a stay-at-home dad.
Stay-at-home dad. And he has these women brainwashed that he is like highly intelligent creature. They're like, he's so smart. He's so smart. Meanwhile, he is just regurgitating like all the information that he hears listening to podcasts on the couch at home all day, every day, while his 3 wives are out working full-time, full-time jobs.
You guys, I'm not exaggerating. He has cufflinks on. Like he puts cufflinks on, and then they ask him, like the producers are like, what's with the business attire?
Corinne,
and he's like,
this
is a job.
Did you see him get into the hot tub with one of the wives? It was like he was giving one of the wives special attention and they went in the hot tub together. But he by all appearances, he is a very tiny man. Like he's very, very
Yes.
small. And so it makes the wife next to him, she looks enormous. And I don't know how tall she actually is. Like maybe she is a tall woman or maybe she's not. Maybe she's 5'6", 5'7", but she just looks enormous next to him because he's so tiny. In any event, those two get into the hot tub together. And when I was watching this, I had a gummy, which enhances the experience, by the way. It makes it like a lot better. But so I'm watching them and they're in the hot tub and they start cuddling and she like leans back in the hot tub and he gets between her legs and is like swimming over to like do some like canoodling. In that moment, in my haze, my gummy haze, it looked like she had just given birth to him and he popped up because he looked like a tiny little baby. Like these tiny little shoulders pop up out of the water and it looked, in that moment, it looked like she had done a water birth and she just spit him out and he was popping up to meet his mommy. It was very bizarre. If I pulled up a picture, it would make sense to you because it's exactly what it looked like.
I watched it. I just much like you, except I took an Ambien, which makes it harder to remember. But I do understand that they sleep in a 12-foot bed, and I don't understand like I get up to pee in the middle of the night. Okay, so if I'm in the middle, if I'm a middle blinsa, I gotta get up and I gotta not try and disturb everyone else in the bed. And
That's
like, why would you
only
want to-
problem, Corinne? Imagine if for a moment, if you will, you're that tiny man and you've got one much larger than you wife over here. And you've got one much larger than you wife over here. And you're in the middle. The covers can't even touch you. There's probably 2 feet of air between him and the top sheet because if they pull it tight, now he has no covers. Like the cover situation is going to be so off for the people in the middle. Like you're only going to have covers if you're on the outsides. That would be that's a nightmare scenario for me. I don't want any air coming through my covers. That is the worst sleeping situation I can fathom. Beyond just getting up to use the bathroom.
And then they're all fucking crammed into this bed and he's like, I'm really looking for another wife. And then one of the fat ones is like, where's she gonna go?
Where's she gonna go? We're gonna need 15 feet. Get another twin in here. Park another twin on the edge because it's never gonna work. I would need my own personal little twin size duvet if I was expected to sleep in the 12-foot bed. The covers are not gonna work.
I'll take a sleeping bag. This is not. I'm not doing this. You could if you each had sleeping bags, maybe I could see this working. But
then they explained that they don't ever bone in the big bed. No. They have to bone in there's a separate bedroom with a full size bed and that's bone town.
No, it's called the boom boom room. And this very much offends the same fat one that doesn't want another wife. She's like, I don't really like calling it that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Take me to some emails, please.
I was so close to finding the picture, but you know what? I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Of them in the hot tub. Like it's a very disturbing image.
Send it to me and I'll send it to Brock and he can throw it in this episode. So you guys can see it.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah,
okay.
We could totally do that.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to start some emails. This one comes from, they don't ask for anonymity, so I'm going to call them out. Thank you for sending this in. Oh my God. It says anonymous in parentheses.
Oh shit.
Hold on. Back it up. Back it up. Beep, beep.
No.
Brock, could Brock just like black out the name real quick?
Brock, can you? Okay, he says yes.
You got my back? Okay. Anonymous asks, hello, Spencers. I need advice. I have a friend of over a decade who I love dearly, but who continues to ghost on plans with no communication or heads up that they will not be able to make it. Dinners, movie nights, any social gathering, they will say they're coming and then they never show up. They've always been this way, but for the past couple of years, it's gotten especially egregious. It sends the message that you don't care about this friendship. You don't make an attempt. Blah, 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 blah. I love this friend so much and value them like family. I don't want to lose them, but I take this level of disrespect personally. Am I being too self-involved in my thinking? Am I taking this personally? What would you do?
So I have a very strict policy with this. Like, I would not fuck with this person. I don't care how much I liked them. I maybe have said this on this podcast before, but if I haven't, I will reiterate. I was like the person who had all the connections at the clubs in New York City. And I had a group of very pretty model friends, and everyone was welcome to join me. I could get in any pretty girl. But you had to be at my house for the pregame, and then you had to leave with me. I will not be getting you from the door. I will not be leaving your name at the door. You will enter with me or you will not enter. And if you're 1 minute late, you're out.
You're done.
So I had this one friend. She's Polish. I think Polish people tend to run late. I loved her very much. We are still friends to this day. But she missed 2/3 of the nights out because I'd be like, you need to be at my house for the pregame at this time. And she would miss it, and she'd be like, I'll just meet you at the front door. She would be at the front door, and I'd be like, you're not coming in with me. That wasn't what I told you to do. I don't fuck with this kind of behavior at all. And they will learn. Like, if you eventually stop inviting them, and you have to be, you can't just like silently ghost somebody like this. You have to be like, hey, so I'm actively not going to invite you to this dinner with a bunch of other people because you just keep canceling, and I can't keep doing this. Like, you have to tell them the things they're missing.
Yeah, especially if it's like important that they be there timely. Like, some dinner reservations are not going to seat you until your party's there or whatever. Then I think you make it clear, like, because you have a tendency to not show, that is why you are not invited to this event. And I also think that there's something to be said for just send a text message to this person that puts it out there that it really pisses you off, and see what they have to say. And maybe they correct their behavior, maybe they don't. But I think that you need to speak your truth. I think that this anonymous, you need to let them know that this is not okay, that it's disrespectful. And it is all of those things. I don't think you're taking it personally, but I feel like you should let them know. I feel like we're adults. They can handle a little constructive criticism. And frankly, they should know. They're being super rude and inconsiderate of your time.
I just want to say that, like, I don't know where you live or what your friend group looks like, but like, there's no friend of mine worth this. Like, I don't give a shit. I'll find somebody else who doesn't break plans. That's so fucking annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Do you
All right, give me another email, but yes, okay. I do. But I just want to tell everyone, please, you can write into us at where'smyspinoff@gmail.com. Right. We love to hear from you. So go on, give me another email, please.
Okay. And then you're going to have to give me some context around this because I don't even totally understand it myself. Okay, it says, hi, Corinne and Britney, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I've been desperate to find tallow sunscreen as I'm studying abroad in Sydney. I found a company in Australia online, and after dropping big bucks on it, I was shocked to find that it was being shipped back home to the U.S. The sound drop Amelia Bedelia played in my head. Corinne, I was reminiscing on my favorite Amelia Bedelias you've had, and I think the best is you trying to get the BO out of your sweatshirt on the way to Colombia at the airport and was dousing it in Chanel. Also, as scary as it was when the story you got caught in the ski lift and it stopped.
Yeah. I got a concussion.
Oh, you got a concussion? Ski lifts are scary. Do you two ladies have any good Amelia Bedelia stories? All the best, Jack. Okay. Context, Corinne. Give us some context around you and Amelia Bedelia.
Amelia Bedelia is a storybook character that is known for taking things literally. So she doesn't understand how to, when they give her instructions, I'm terrible at remembering Amelia Bedelia stories, but it would be like, I don't know, massage the chicken. And so she just massages it. She doesn't understand that I don't know. I actually don't know what you're supposed to do when they say massage chicken. She takes everything literally, and she's constantly making errors that you're like, oh, why didn't she logically know how to do that better? And I have done that so many times that my old podcast partner nicknamed me Amelia Bedelia.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And I had Amelia Bedelia books as a kid, but I don't.
You did? You just don't remember?
Yeah. But you know what it reminds me of? That episode of Schitt's Creek where they're like so confused by fold the cheese. The ingredients, like it says fold the cheese, and they're like, how do you
fold it in, David? I cannot teach you everything.
Yeah. And they're so confused. Neither one of them know what it means by fold cheese. Okay, that makes sense. I would have to think and see if I have any of those. It makes sense also his story because he is going to Australia. So he bought the sunscreen online. Turns out it was shipping from Australia. Like he could have just bought it there. So it makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, good. Very good. Now we have clarification.
I mean, I talked about this recently, but one of my huge Amelia Bedelia moment was when I went into the Apple store and I was like, my computer doesn't work. And they were like,
Yeah.
you're plugging it into the fucking phone charger, you idiot. I mean, that's Amelia. That's straight Amelia. I mean, I do things like that all the time, but I have to like think of like, I'll notate them in my phone because on a weekly basis, I'm doing dumb shit like that. I just don't inherently remember.
Offhand. Yeah. Same for me. I would have to like think about it for a minute. Okay. We have one more email. Let's try to get to this.
Okay. Sure.
This person does not ask to be anonymous. So this email is from Tegan. Thank you, Tegan, for writing in. So I decided to delve back into the world of dating apps and matched with a guy who seemed like he could be okay. He opened with the suggestion of a coffee date, then backed out almost immediately, saying he was too shy. Then after a few more exchanges, he asked to again meet for coffee, and I figure, sure, I'll give him a chance. Then he backs out again and says he doesn't want to meet me and not be sober. So I'm like, WTF. But then he makes it again sound like he's shy, and I figure maybe he would prefer a bit of alcohol courage. So we agree to that, and we say we will organize something the next day. Start chatting the next day, and he backs out again, and then says he doesn't think it's fair to me if we meet up for drinks, as he doesn't want to spiral and he has made promises to his family. I'm super confused by this point. Then he says we should probably unmatch. So I'm like, sure, because this guy's nuts. But before I can hit the unmatch button, he starts talking about how meth is an epidemic and 92% of people relapse, so it's not worth the risk to him. So I'm like, yeah, don't ruin your life. Good luck. Then he starts talking about how he loves suing, quote unquote, pigs, aka cops, for harassment. He will see me in court. Then he starts explaining he's been raided twice for no reason and has trauma. So he's trying to hold them accountable, not get a payday. At this point, I'm like, God, I can't handle this. I unmatch. I'm going to be alone forever. I think this is a story of this is what's out there. Like, this is what we're matching with. We're matching with someone who is so deep in the meth that they are, I don't know, they're circling back, they're canceling, they're sober, they're not sober, they're suing cops.
Honestly,
meth is an epidemic.
The only reason I would have entertained this past the first cancellation, as we just talked about, is because I have a podcast. And I just want to say, I just thought of an Amelia Bedelia that just happened to me that relates to dating apps. So I decided that Hinge is very boring. And I just was like, I'm gonna get back on Bumble. It is what it is. It's sad. Yeah. However, because I deleted everything on Bumble, when I went to get back on it, you got to start from ground zero, and there's so many more prompts and questions, and none of my shit is saved. So I'm like, it was like a fucking 3-week process for me to actually like go through and like take the time to like. So in the beginning, when I thought it was asking, what are you looking for? So I checked Black, Hispanic, white. Those are the boxes I checked. Okay, judge me. I don't know. Those are my preferences. Okay, those are the races I enjoy having sex with. So I check those. I finally launch this fucking app, and I finally get the pictures and the prompts and the blah, 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 blah. And I start matching. And the first few messages are like, how much Hispanic and Black are you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Some like it happened enough times.
23andMe. I'm not sure. Okay. Do you want like an exact breakdown?
It happened enough times that I realized I didn't check what I was looking for. I checked what I am. So I had to change that because a lot of people were calling me out.
Very confusing. Yes, these people who had checked their boxes for what they wanted are looking, and they're like, I don't see it that much. No, where's it come into play? Odd. Okay.
Amelia.
Yeah. Okay, well, Tegan, this guy is insane, obviously. What I mean, is there anything good out there? Is Tegan going to be alone forever? Or is this what she has to look forward to? More meth exchanges?
Okay, they don't have to be that bad, but there are a ton of losers. And even when you find one that you think like maybe is okay, something's going to go terribly wrong there too. I mean, I'm at the end of my rope here. I really am.
It's hopeless. Just hang on for dear life and do the best you can. It's completely hopeless, says Corinne.
So my buddy Randy Bailey, who I did my first season with, he's an older curmudgeon. He was one of my favorite. We're still very close friends. We talk all the time. He calls me the other day and he's like, look, I don't want to alarm you. There's nothing wrong with me. Because Randy's got to be like, I don't know, 60 something, right? He goes, I get up every day and I swim. He's like, but I'm not going to live forever. And I wondered he goes, it's going to piss me off if the government gets to keep my Social Security. And I Googled, and if I'm married to you for at least 9 months, you can collect Social Security the rest of your life. What do you think? I was like, done. He goes, so if I find out I'm sick, maybe I get a fucking some kind of cancer, whatever. He's like, because now he qualifies for Medicare. So he's officially like insured. Wait, maybe it's not Medicare, but he has insurance. And he's like, if something's wrong, we just need a 9-month runway and then you get paid for the rest of your life. And I was like, say less. So the funny thing about this, I've committed to this. He asked if I was going to tell it on the podcast. So I'm glad that I got this out. The one flaw in this is, so my arch nemesis, she doesn't know, is there's a woman named Corinne Bailey Ray who is a singer. And for the longest time, when you Googled Corinne until that cunt from The Bachelor came out, it was just me and Corinne Bailey Ray. Well, if I marry Randy Bailey, I'm Corinne Bailey now.
That's true.
So it's really going to confuse people.
You're going to have to go hyphenate. You're going to have to go Kaplan Bailey. Just to try to hang on a little bit. Mm-hmm. That reminds me though of one of my other favorite TV shows, which is called Love After Lockup. Are you aware of that program? That show's great. Okay, so a few seasons back, they had this one particular girl, and they were kind of running some sort of a scam where even though she was an adult, she could be legally adopted by her friend, and then her friend would receive some sort of benefits because she was like benefits eligible. So she had her friend legally adopt her so that she could like collect some sort. I don't remember all the details, but then they would split the money. They would like get the money and then they would split it. And that was like the scam that they were running.
For me to get this money, he has to die, but his only instructions are that I have to give him a Viking funeral. And I was like, I'll push your fucking corpse into a canoe and light that shit on fire and collect that fucking Social Security.
And you will also spend that entire 9 months just doing anything to get him to hang on. Anything. Yeah. Like, frankly, you might end up one of those cases where it was like he was in the freezer and no one knew. Because you'll want to claim that he made it 9 months. Like, if he only makes it 8, that's 8 months plus 1 month in your freezer. How are they going to know? You know what I mean?
Well, and then I go, and think of the TMZ article. Not only is Randy Bailey dead, but did anyone know he was married to the other bitch from this season?
We're
going to get press.
Secret love story. And then if they find out that you did have him in the freezer, that's another headline. I feel like this has potential as well. You have so much potential. We have sister wives. We have special forces, maybe. Special forces. We've got seeking sister wives. And now we have this scandal. We have so many avenues for you. Honestly, it's glorious. I love it.
Thank you.
It's so great. So wonderful. I'm so tethered. I'm so hindered because I'm already married. I've got all these kids. My potential scandals are so few. You have, the world is truly your oyster, Corinne.
It is, really, but if I may, if I had a kid, they're going directly into modeling. Like, you're going to shut up and get in front of the camera. You're going to marry Kate and Ashley this. Like, you've got 3 beautiful kids. One of those kids can be a child actress.
Well, an actress, yes. I was going to say model, definitely not. We're the shortest family of all time. Like, we're all just
when they're
like
kids, they don't care.
Tiny. We have that's models. Better. We have no models here.
Did you ever see Webster, where he's really an adult, but he plays a kid? Or Emmanuel Lewis did that. Like, your kids are little. They can play kids for a lot longer.
They can play down, you're right, for a long time because we're all teeny tiny people in this house. So that does make sense. That is opportunity. You're right.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to work on this.
This was a great hour. Yeah. I mean, took the wind right out of my sails. We got everything out. I'm excited. I'm happy.
Me too. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Don't forget to rate and review and write us at where'smyspinoff@gmail.com. We will see you next Monday. Bye.
Woo-hoo. Bye.